Hello guys, welcome to this tutorial. Now that we have watched the first video, the introductory video, we are ready to start modeling, and we're going to start modeling the basics, which are the roof, the floor and the walls. So let's start. We're going to start by adding a cube. This is going to be okay. First, the units we are going to use are metric. So as you can see, this is 2 meters, 2 meters, and 2 meters. Now we want this to be 4 meters wide, so we're going to scale it in x-axis and in y-axis 2.5. We have 4 meters in here, and this is like 5 meters, you can see. 3 meters in z-axis is going to be enough, so I'm going to scale it 1.5. Okay. We're going to create an attic as you saw. So we're going to give it a shape by adding a lot cut. I'm going to put it in here and scale it in here. Scale it in x-axis, like you can see the number in here I'm using. Okay, this is the shape we want to achieve. You can see that it is like the final result, but we have to use some thickness to the walls, to the roof, to the floor, and there is a modifier that is going to help us a lot, which is Solidify. We're going to use like 7.5 centimeters. That's good enough. As you can see, okay, let's save this before anything. Okay, we're going to apply Solidify, and you can see that these vertices in here are not aligned with this in here. We're going to align them, but this is not hard at all. All you have to do is to scale it in x-axis 0, and that's going to do the work for you. Same in here. I don't really know why Solidify don't do this right. I've tried with even thickness and high quality, but nothing. Okay. We're applying some thickness to everything here, because it's going to be more natural, the behavior of light, and you can have few troubles if you don't do this, so it's a good thing to do. Okay, you can see that we have 3 different objects. I separate the walls, the roof, the floor. Now we're going to name them to have a very organized outliner. this is empty and I want to fill it. Remember, we're going to use bridge tool. That's exactly what I did. Let me show you again. With this side, tools and bridge, have the shortcut. Okay. So, okay, we have the roof. Now with the walls, this is pretty easy. Oh, okay. I'm selecting the labs with Alt and right click, and to add the second lab, just Shift Alt, right click. Well, you can see here with the screencast. When I use bridge, you can see that this is happening to me, but what I have to do is, okay, let me see, reverse and just fix it. Maybe next time I do bridge, that is going to be use it again, and now you see that it is not working, but very easy to fix. Remember, we're not using Beamish because of inset, because of loop tools. All those things are not working in there. So if you want to use it, you can use it. There's no trouble. Okay, we have this. All I'm doing is filling these holes in here. Okay, when I select the floor, you can see this dot in here, orange dot. This means that this is the center of the object, so I'm going to change this by selecting everything in here, Shift Control and C, and origin to geometry. It's going to work pretty good. Now we have thickness, we have our basic shape. Now what we need to do is to create the window and the door, the space for all those things. So let's do this. I'm hiding all these things because it's easier to work like that. I'm going to extrude the faces and scale it Shift Y axis, because if I don't do Shift Y axis, you will see that it's doing this weird. Well, it's not weird, it's usual indeed, but we don't want that. Okay, now I have these faces in here, and we're going to raise them. Oh, just the faces, not all. And these vertices in here are not aligned. And as I told you before, we're going to align them by scale it in 0. But if you just scale it 0, it's going to do that, and we don't want to get that. We're going to scale it Shift Y 0. So let me show you. You see? Okay, there it is. So we're going to do that with all those vertices that are near one to each other. You have a history here, and you can use it, but in F3 I don't really like to use it, but there are people who likes it, so you should know that there it is, and you You can use it if you want. Okay. Now we're going to use bridge again. It's working really good. Now this is not the shape we want for the window, so we're going to scale these faces in here in x-axis. Okay, let me hide all those things again. Okay, now we want this to be not in square, more like a rectangle, but we're going to scale this in x-axis to 0. Okay, and we're going to scale this in x-axis. Now you see that this is happening, and this is a problem, but this is not going to be anymore in Beamish, I guess. So we're not going to worry about this. All I have to do is add lap cuts. I'm going to change the snap with Shift Control Tab to vertex, moving in C. Okay. Now you can see that it is working really well now. Let's remove doubles, and okay, it's fine. We're going to scale this just a little more in x-axis, maybe like this. Okay, you can always change this. Just remember that I have been doing this a few times, and now I know how much space for the window and how much is for the door. And well, I did 3 meters in here. All those things I already know. So, but you feel free to change anything you want. The important thing here is you learn the way to do this. Now that I have the window, we're going to create the door, and it's going to be pretty much the same. So I'm going to do it faster now that you already know how to do it. Okay, something's not working at all here, but sometimes when you have that kind of trouble with bridge, you can use fill and do the selection again, and you see that this is going to help bridge to know how to work. And you see, so you don't have to do it one by one. Bridge is a really great tool. Now the door should be touching the floor here, So I'm going to move it to that vertex, move it along Z-axis. I'm going to select Control to activate the snaps, and there it is. Okay, from this red line in here, which means x-axis, to here, we have 2 meters, and you can see that this is just it's almost touching the line of 2 meters, and that's good enough for people who install. That's good. So we're going to scale this in x-axis, and you will notice that we're going to get the same trouble with the window. But we're going to fix it with lap cuts, and same with the window. We're going to move it to this vertex in here and remove doubles. You notice that it removed 4, so it is doing the work pretty well. So now I'm going to move this like in here. Just let me check. Okay, maybe scale it in x-axis. You see this dot in here? That means there is a face in there. We're going to fix it in a second. Okay, that's working for us. Okay, I just select the face. If you don't do it, if you don't change the vision from solid to wireframe, you're maybe not going to be enabled to select it. So with C, you can do it very easily. We have this face in here which is not working at all because have more than 4 vertices. So we're going to delete it and just select this section here and fill these 2, fill, and it's working. Now this object I separated with slash, so let's return to the scene, and this is really good for us. The only thing you can see here that is not working, let me tell you that this should not be like this, are those edges like this, which are completely sharp, and that's not good for modeling. It's never good, because anything in real life have these edges completely sharp, and to fix that we can be using bevel and use, I don't know, like 1 centimeter, something like that. But or we can extrude and scaling it in y-axis, and then scaling it in x-axis, and then in C. And now it is not sharp at all. You can see this in here, which is basically bevel but model it. But we're going to cover, I mean, this is not going to be visible at all when we finish the scene. The curtains with some detailing here, with the sofa, with the chairs. So we're not going to spend our time with bevel and extruding and scaling with something that is not going to be necessary. So basically this is it, and I really hope you enjoy it. See you at the next video.